Welcome to Share My Lesson. In this video, we will be looking at the Senior Solutions to the Australian Mathematics Competition 2023. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and check out my blog for more information. Let's proceed to the solutions. In this question, we simply have to subtract 3,202 from 2023, which gives a result of negative 1,179. This means that the answer is B. To find the area of a parallelogram, we have to multiply the base by its height, which is measured by a perpendicular line. PQ, which is the base, is 10 centimeters, which means that the height is 6 centimeters. The only perpendicular line in the diagram is PT, which means that the answer is D. To solve this question, we can use approximation. We have to round 953 to 1000 and round 57 to 60. 1000 multiplied by 60 is 60,000. The only answer closest to this product is 54,321, which means that the answer is C. Two to the power 5 is equal to 32, and 5 to the power 2 is equal to 25. 25 subtracted from 32 is 7. This means that the answer is E. The angle marked in the diagram is equal to the sum of the angle A and the angle B. Angle A can be found by subtracting 110 from 180 as it lies on a straight line, which makes it be equal to 70 degrees. In a similar way, we can find angle B, which is 30 degrees. 70 plus 30 is equal to 100, so the marked angle is equal to 100 degrees. Therefore, the answer is A. One side of the square is equal to 3 plus 4, which is 7. So the area of the unshaded square is 49 units squared. Using Pythagorean theorem, we can find that the side length of the shaded square is equal to the square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is 5. This means that the area of the shaded square is equal to 25 units squared. We subtract 25 and 49 to find that the unshaded area is 24 units squared, which means that the ratio of shaded to unshaded area is 25 to 24. This means that the answer is B. We can write down the units digits, the numbers from 1 through to 18. As you can see, there are 2 2s and 2 5s. These multiply to give a product of 100. Then there is 10. 100 multiplied by 10 is 1000, which gives a number which ends in 3 zeros. No matter what number we multiply 1000 by, the product will always have 3 zeros to end it. This means that the answer is A. When the tank is 40% empty, it is 60% full. When 40 liters are removed, it is 40% full. This means that 40 liters is 20% of the entire tank, or 1/5. So the whole tank has 5 multiplied by 40, which is 200 liters of water, which means that the answer is D. To solve this question, we can use algebra. We get an equation where 4 over 3 pi r cubed is equal to 100. This means that pi r cubed is equal to 300 over 4 and r cubed is equal to 300 over 4 pi. Take that pi is equal to 22 over 7. We find that r is equal to the cube root of 2100 over 88. This is approximately 13 over 4. The closest answer is 2.9 centimeters, so the answer is A. Let the smallest of these three numbers be x. This means that the other two numbers are x plus 2 and x plus 4. We can write an equation where x plus 2 plus x plus 4 is equal to 9m plus 3. We can solve this to get that x plus 2 is equal to 3m plus 1. We need to find the largest of these numbers, which is x plus 4. This means that x plus 4 is equal to 3m plus 3, which means that the answer is E. The square root of 24 plus the square root of 54 squared can be simplified to 2 root 6 plus 3 root 6 squared, which is 5 root 6 squared, which is 25 times 6, which is equal to 150. This means that the answer is B. We can label the three pairs of twins as A1, A2, B1, B2, and C1, C2. As you can see, we can draw a tree diagram and count the different outcomes. In total, there are 8. This means that the answer is B. A to the power negative 1 minus b to the power negative 1 over a to the power negative 2 minus b to the power negative 2 is equal to 1 over a minus 1 over b on 1 over a squared minus 1 over b squared. We can simplify this to get ab over b plus a, which is equal to ab over a plus b. This means that the answer is C. Let x be the amount of total balls originally. The ratio of the colored balls are 5 to 7. This means that the amount of red balls is 5x over 12. Then, after 10 balls of each color are removed, the total amount of balls are x minus 20. The ratio is 5 to 8. This means that the amount of red balls are now 5 over 13 multiplied by x minus 20. Since 10 balls are removed from each color, we get from equation 1 that the amount of Red Bulls are also equal to 5x over 12 minus 10. We can equal this to our other equation of the amount of Red Bulls, which is 5 over 13 multiplied by x minus 20. We can solve this to get that x is equal to 72. This means that the answer is C. The top corner of the triangle is equal to a minus x. Since the two corners of the triangle has to be equal to the number in the middle, which is a. In a similar way, we can find the bottom right corner of the triangle, which is equal to c minus x. This means that b is equal to a minus x plus c minus x. We can solve this equation to find x, which is equal to a plus c minus b over 2. This means that the answer is D. To solve this question, we simply have to put the values into the given formula and find the solution. This is equal to 10. This means that the answer is D. We can mark the two sides of the triangle A and B. Using Pythagorean theorem, we find that a squared plus b squared is equal to 6 squared, which is 36. The question also tells us that a plus b plus 6 is equal to 14. This means that a plus b is equal to 8. We can mark this equation as 2. The formula for the area of a triangle is a multiplied by b over 2, or ab over 2. We can mark this as equation number 3. Using equation number 2, we can square it to find that a plus b squared is equal to 8 squared, so a squared plus b squared plus 2ab is equal to 64. From equation 1, we know that a squared plus b squared is 36, so 2ab is equal to 28 and ab is equal to 14. We can put this into equation number 3 to find that ab over 2 is equal to 14 over 2, which is 7. This means that the answer is A. Whenever you have two identical 6-sided dice, there is a total of 36 possibilities. We can draw a tree diagram to find out how many rational products there are. Starting with 1, the rational products are when you multiply it by 1 over 2 and 1. With 1 over 2, you can multiply by 1 over 2 and 1. With root 3, you can multiply by root 3, 1 and root 3, and root 3 and 2. We can continue with this all the way up to root 3 on 2. We find that there are 2 possibilities with 1, 2 possibilities with 1 and 2, 3 possibilities with root 3, 3 possibilities with 1 on root 3, 1 possibility with 1 on root 2, and 3 possibilities with root 3 on 2. Altogether, there's a total of 14 possibilities. This means that the probability that the product is rational is 14 on 36, which can be simplified to 7 on 18. This means that the answer is E. We get the equation where x squared plus y squared is less than 50, where x is greater than y. First, we have to find the square numbers less than 50 and make the different additions. The square numbers below 50 are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and 49. We can't make any sums with 49, as 49 plus 1 is already equal to 50. We can try 36. 36 plus 1, 36 plus 4, and 36 plus 9 all work. In a similar way, we can do this to 25, 16, 9, and 4. In total, the amount of distinct pairs that satisfy the variables x and y are 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is 13. We do not multiply this by 2, as x has to be greater than y. This means that the answer is B. We can mark the sides of this shape that we know of, which are 15, 20, and 20. The side lengths of the small and right-angled triangle inside this shape can be marked as x and y. We can use Pythagorean theorem to find that the hypotenuse of one of these triangles is 25. This means that this is 25 minus y and this is 25 minus x. Also, the hypotenuse of the smaller triangle is 15. We can write an equation using Pythagorean theorem, which is x squared plus y squared is equal to 15 squared. We can then use Pythagorean theorem to write an equation for the medium-sized triangle. We get that 625 plus x squared plus y squared minus 50x is equal to 400. We know that x squared plus y squared is equal to 225, which means that 50x is equal to 450 and x is equal to 9. This means that y is equal to the square root of 144, which is equal to 12, which we know from the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 255. This means that the perimeter is equal to 20 plus 15 plus 13 plus 16 plus 20, which is equal to 84. This means that the answer is B. Let the four numbers be equal to A, B, C, and D. Based on the question, we can write that A plus 3 is equal to B minus 3, which is equal to 3C, which is equal to D over 3. From this equation, we can write three more equations. We can mark this respectively as equation number 1, 2, and 3. Based on the question, we also know that A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 32. Using the equations from 1 through to 3, we can write another equation. We can solve this to find that 16A is equal to 48 and A is equal to 3. We can put this into equation number 1 to find B, which is 9. We can put this into equation number 2 to find that C is equal to 2. And we could put this into equation number 3 to find that D is equal to 18. The largest two numbers are B and D. The sum of these is 18 plus 9, which is 27. This means that the answer is D. We can draw a diagram, marking the uphill section as A, marking the flat section as B, and the downhill section as C. Based on the question, we get that A plus B plus C is equal to 11.5. We also know that 60 multiplied by A over 3 plus B over 4 plus C over 5 is equal to 174. We can simplify this and mark this as equation number 1. We also find that 6C multiplied by C over 3 plus B over 4 plus A over 5 is equal to 186. We can simplify this and mark this as equation number 2. We can subtract equation number 1 from equation number 2 to find that C minus A is equal to 1.5. We can mark this as equation number 3. We can multiply A plus B plus C by 15. We get another equation which we can mark as equation number 4. When we subtract equation number 4 from equation number 1, we find that 5A minus 3C is equal to 1.5. Using equation number 3, we can multiply by 3 to get that 3C minus 3A is equal to 4.5. We can mark this as equation number 6. Adding equations 5 and 6 together, we find that A is equal to 3, C is equal to 4.5, and B is equal to 4. This means that the flat section is equal to 4 kilometers. So the answer is A. Let the integers be equal to x and y. The product, or P, is equal to xy, and the sum, or S, is equal to x plus y. The answer is equal to the product plus the sum, which is xy plus x plus y. If you add 1 to the answer, it is equal to 1 plus xy plus x plus y, which can be factorized to x plus 1 multiplied by y plus 1. This means that the answer plus 1 has to have two factors, where x plus 1 and y plus 1 can't be equal to 1, as it means that x or y has to be equal to 0, which is not a positive integer. To find the answer to this question, we need to find the solution where the answer plus 1 is equal to prime. 84 plus 1 is equal to 85, which is not a prime. 86 plus 1 is equal to 87, which is not a prime. But 88 plus 1 is equal to 89, which is a prime number. This means that the answer is equal to 88. Open a tetrahedron up to the net shown, where there are 3 copies of food sources from V. This doesn't change the length of the paths the grub can take. Whenever a path to V or X crosses one of the cut edges, there is an equivalent path that doesn't cross the cut edge. Since X is at the center of its face, it makes sense to place a diagram on the grid of equilateral triangles where the side of the tetrahedron has length 3. Then as shown, the perpendicular bisectors of each XV also lies on this grid. The unshaded area is closer to X than V, and the shaded area closer to V than X. This means that the shaded area is equal to 12 over 36, which can be simplified to 1/3 of the total area. This means that the answer is B. We can mark the important points of the triangle. To find Px, we first have to find Ps. Using Pythagorean theorem, we find that Ps squared is equal to 4 squared minus 2 squared, which means that Ps is equal to root 12. X is the center of the triangle, which means that Px is 2/3 of Ps, which is equal to 2 over 3 multiplied by root 12. We can then draw another diagram, where the distance between the two midpoints of the smaller circle and the large circle is equal to Px, which is 2/3 of root 12. We can mark the radius of the smallest circle as r. We also find that one side of the triangle is equal to 2 minus r, and the hypotenuse is equal to 2 plus r. Using Pythagorean theorem, we can write an equation. We can solve this to find that r is equal to 6 over 9, which we can simplify to 2/3. This means that the answer is E. The largest difference between these four numbers can be 40 minus 1 over 3, which is 13. Take the example if the difference between these four numbers is 1. The amount of numbers that satisfy the difference of 1 is equal to 40 minus 1 times 3, which is equal to 37. Then, take the example if the difference is 2. The amount of numbers that satisfy if the difference is equal to 2 is equal to 40 minus 2 times 3, which is equal to 34. We can keep writing this all the way up to 13, which is the largest difference, where the amount of numbers that satisfy it is equal to 1. We see an arithmetic sequence where each number differs by negative 3. This means that the total is equal to 1 all the way up to plus 28, plus 31, plus 34, plus 37. Using the sum of series formula, we get that this is equal to 13 over 2 multiplied by 1 plus 37, which is equal to 247. We get that m over n is equal to 55 over 54. Let m be equal to ABC. We can write an equation for 111m. We can simplify this. Let n be equal to ABA. We can then write an equation for 11n. When we divide equation number 2 by equation number 3, we get 111m divided by 11n. We know that m over n is equal to 55 over 54, which gives us 111 multiplied by 55 divided by 11 multiplied by 54. We know that this is equal to 10 plus c on 10a plus b. Since this is in simplest terms, c has to be a multiple of 5. However, c is a digit, so c equals 5 and 10a plus b is equal to 18. This means that 100a plus 10b plus c is equal to 185. This means that the answer is 185. For any distance rolled, the larger wheel travels 105 and 70, which can be simplified to 3 on 2 as far as the smaller wheel. So the circumference of the large traced wheel is 3 on 2 that of the small traced wheel, which means that the radii are also in the same ratio. Consequently, the distance between the two traced circles is half the radius of the small circle and also 1/3 of the. This means that the radius of the large circle divided by 3 is equal to the square root of 120 squared plus 35 squared. We can simplify this to find that this is equal to 5 multiplied by 25. So the radius of the larger circle is equal to 3 times 5 times 25, which is equal to 375. In any 3-year period, tomatoes must have one planting in each bed. So they must cycle through the 3 beds in a 3-year cycle, such as shed, laundry, kitchen, shed, laundry, kitchen, and so on. There are 6 ways to have such a cycle. corresponding to the 6 permutations of shed, laundry, kitchen. Suppose we have a cycle, and we number the beds 1, 2, 3, depending which year the tomatoes are first planted there. So the plan looks like this. We can make a table of the years and the number of ways to plant beets and carrots. In year 1, there's a total of 2 ways. In year 2, there's a total of 3 ways. Soon we find that there's a pattern where the year n is equal to the year before it plus by 2 years before it. With this, we can complete the rest of the table. We find that in grade 8, there's a total of 55 ways. Since there are 6 permutations, we have to multiply 55 by 6. This is equal to 330. This means that the answer is 330. As you can see, all the patterns are in clusters of 11. First, we can check the patterns with n hits, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. When n is equal to 1, there is one possibility. When n is equal to 2, we can place 0 is equal to black and then 9 whites. There are 8 spaces between the 9 whites, each of which is a possibility for the other hit, giving a total of 8 possibilities. Since either beat could be the first beat, there are 8 divided by 2, which are 4 clusters. In a similar way, we can do the same thing for n equals 3, n equals 4, and n equals 5. In total, there are 1 plus 4 plus 7 plus 5 plus 1, which are 18 clusters. Since there are 11 clusters, we multiply 18 by 11 to find the total number of patterns, which is equal to 198. This means that the answer is 198. We've now completed the solutions for the 2023 AMC Senior Division. If you need any further clarification, you can add your comment down below. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and share this video with anyone else you would think would benefit from it.